The last part of this e-commerce tutorial, we have completed the home page by making this categories section and the product section. And further we have implemented the newsletter and the footer section of this e-commerce store. In the category page section, we have imported these products from the home page and also made some filters. And yes, we have not implemented the functionality of these filters. We will do this in the later videos. Let's start our tutorial by making this product page for our e-commerce store. Our product page is going to look like this, with title at the top of the page, an image of our product, price, color variants, size variants, and also a counter with an add to cart button. And the other components are just the import of our files. Let's begin our product page development by making a file in pages section named product page.jsx. First of all, I will simply import my pre-built components like announce bar, nav bar, newsletter, and finally our footer. Let's see the results. And to see the results, first of all, we should change our app.js and here call our product page. Save this. And this is the product page successfully imported with our pre-built components. Let's start coding for our product page. Here below the nav bar, I will make a parent div, and in this parent div I am going to make two child divs. First div for our image and second div for the details of our product and the add to cart button. This will be our div for the image and this div will be for the details of our product. Let's begin by image section. Here I am giving the URL of my product image and then closing the tag of image. Then there should be an alt attribute. Let's say this our product image, and also we will give some class name for this. Let's leave it empty for now and see the results. Okay, our product image is now inserted in the correct position. Let's style the parent div. I am going to make the parent div as a display flex, justify center, and for the image div, I am going to make it display flex and flex 1, so both children divs will occupy the same space, as I am also going to make this div as flex 1. So these both containers will occupy the same space like this. And for the styling of our image, I am making its width 80%, height 80%. Let's see, is this enough? Okay, it is too much large for this page. Let's make it correct. First of all, make its border radius large and shadow also large, and on hover it should scale about 1.1. Okay, it's working here now, but it is going out of its limits like this in the navbar section. And in order to make it correct, first I should increase the flex value of detail section like 1.3, and in order to make it clear, I am making its background blue. Now we can see it clearly, but still our image is not in the center of the div. To fix this, I am saying the parent div of our image should be item center and justify center. Okay, now it is in its correct direction, but still its height and width are too much. So here I should make it 80% like this. Okay, it is looking very correct now, but there should be a smooth transition on hovering the product image. So here I will say ease in, and let's make it duration 300, like 3 seconds. Okay, it is looking very nice now. Let's move on our details section here. First of all, I will remove the background color blue, and I will also make it display flex, item center, and justify item start. And inside the div, first of all, I am making the title of our product like creamy hoodie 100% original cotton. Okay, so our h1 tag is in the center of our div, so it should be on the top of the div. I will just simply make the flex direction column, as we have our items at the start of our flex, so it will make this correct. Okay, now it is the top of our div. As we have to give some margin, I am giving the top margin of 10, and for our h1 tag I am first of all writing its name title, so it will not mix up with other elements of this div, and text around 40 pixels. Let's see the results. So this is much like this, that is the intended or expected result, but still it is need to correct. So first of all I should remove cotton and 100%, so it will look nice like this. Okay, further, to make it at the start of our day, I should make it item start rather than item center. Okay, now it is perfectly aligned. Let's go to the description of our product. I am just writing here the random text lorem like this. As we can see, it's at correct position, but it's not aligned at the right hand side, as we want our text at the right alignment. So to do this, I will give it some styling like padding right, 4 rem, and text justify. So the text justify will basically justify our text from both sides. Okay, it is looking better than previous version. For more, I will add the margin top of 4. Now move to the price section of our product page. To make this, I am making another p tag with price, and inside bold tag I am writing the price of our product. I know we will fetch these values dynamically when we connect our e-commerce store with the MongoDB database. But for now, let's do this by hard coding the prices. Our price is inserted. It's time to give it some styling. First of all, I am going to give this the top margin of 7 and text size of 3XL, mean XL 3 times. This is enough as it clearly matches with our original version. Now move on to the color variant section of our product page. To do this, I am making another div below the price section and giving here a comment color variants And then inside this div, I am writing the heading colors. Let's make it bigger so it will be clear. And then as we can see, here I have 3 colors, so I should make 3 more divs. Div 1 and copy and paste them, and here I say div 2, div 3. For the parent div, I am making display flex and text double XL. Let's see the results. Now we have these color parts with colors as 1, 2, 3. Of course, we have to style the 1, 2 and 3 here. So for doing this, first of all, I will remove this one, and inside the styling, I am saying background red. And further, I like to give the margin top of 7, so it's just a styling. As we see, we have nothing inside this div, so we cannot see anything in the result. Let's write here 1 and again see the results. Okay, the BG red is not a class of Tailwind CSS, so I should also give it some value like 600, and it should work now. Now the one has the background color of red, and of course we have to make it more perfect. I will say the width of this div will be 2 rem, height also 2 rem, rounded full. Now see the results. Okay, so now I can safely remove one. Let's just remove this. Again see the results, and we have successfully inserted a fully rounded red div. Let's add some more effects for this. Here I am adding some more styling for our red color div, making its border 2 and padding around 10 pixels like this. And further, I am making cursor pointer, so whenever we have our cursor over this, it will be a like pointer. You can see a silver border around the div, so it is giving a nice effect, but we should also have some margin between the colors and this div. So in order to make this, I am giving margin left of 5. Now it is perfectly aligned. Similarly, we can style our div 2 and div 3. I am just copy and pasting the same styling for our div number 2 and div number 3 like this. And of course their color will be different. So I am making it blue, and for div 3 let's make it yellow. And I should also remove this counting 2 and 3. Save this. And this is the result. These colors are not too much bright. So to have a bright color, I have some values like this yellow should be 400. And now they all are looking bright. Let's move on to this select section of our product page. To make this size select, I am making another div, and here I am making the heading. Inside this, the first option will always be selected and should also be disabled, and this option will be the select heading option. This is just to show our user that they have to select a size from here, and make our first option small and just copy and paste it. Here you can see we have our select input with the small, medium and large selects. This time to style them, and to style them, first of all I will give the margin top to our parent div of 7, and then the text will be the double XL. like this. Okay. Now there should also be some margin between the select and size. To do this, I am giving styling to the select input with the margin left of 5. Now we can see there is a left margin to our select input, and I will also want to have border around this input. So I will make border 2, and now it has a nice border around the select input. For the next, we have to make this quantity counter, and to make this, as this counter component is going to have a lot of styling and a lot of positioning to make it perfect, I am going to make a separate file named as counter inside the component folder so we can reuse it for our card page. So here inside components, I am making counter.jsx. So first of all, with name quantity, and below this div I am making another div, and as we have to display it in a row, I will make the parent div as display flex and item center, and justify center will be also okay. And further, for our quantity text, I am making text value XXL. Now we should also import this component to our product page. Here below this div, I am just simply making a div for our counter and then calling our counter component. As we can see, we have our text quantity here. That means our component is working fine. Let's make it complete. Here I am going to make 3 divs. First div will be for minus button. The second div is to show the quantity, for example 1, and again I know this quantity is going to change, and third will be our plus button. Let's save this, and for the parent div I am saying margin left 5, so it will be away from our quantity heading, and then shadow medium and display flex. So these all items minus 1 and plus will be in a row. Let's see the results. Okay, we can see we have our shadow and minus 1 and plus in a row. Let's style them. To style them, first of all, I will style my minus button with background color of this value, and text should be white inside this, and its width should be 8. Display flex, item center, justify center, and I should also open the word wrap and cursor pointer. Let's see what happened now. Now we see our minus button have styling that we have mentioned. We should also add some top margin for the parent div. So here I am saying, so in order to do this, let's go to the product page, and for this div give some margin. Margin top of 5 will be enough. Margin top of 5 is working fine. Again style our counter. I should make it rounded and rounded medium, not rounded full, because rounded full will make it like a circle. Here we can see by doing the rounded medium is making its all 4 corners round, but we want only 2 corners to be round. So to do this, I will say rounded left medium. So it will just make the left corners of our div rounded. So let's save this. As we can see, now we have only the left corners of the div rounded. and the same styling should be applied for the plus button. So I will just copy and paste, and now it should be right corners rounded. So it is looking fine now. The last thing is to style the center div, and to style this I am saying class name width 8. I am giving all the three divs width 8 so they all will be look perfectly aligned. Display flex item center justify, and border of 1 pixel will be right enough. We also want this purple color around this quantity like this. In the original version we have this border color. So to make this I am just giving a color to its border. Now the quantity has a purple boundary around it. So that's all we need for our counter. And the next task is to make an add to cart button below this quantity like this. To make this I will move to my product page, and here I should format my code. Below the counter I will simply make a button with add to cart text, and I will also just simply give this the class name btn as we have made it in our index.css. Here this is our button class and it is available to all the files. So just save this and see the results. Okay, now we can see we have our add to cart button imported successfully. The last task is just to give it a top margin. To do this I am saying margin top of 5. So it is looking nice now, and our product page is almost complete here with all of its functionality. And the last thing we can do on hover, the border color of these colorful divs should be changed. To do this I will make a hover effect. So I say on hover the border color. Let's copy and paste it. Now when we hover, the boundary color is changing according to our expected results. So our product page is now completed. And this is enough for this video. In the next part of our e-commerce web tutorial, we will build the cart page and further login and register page. Thank you. Please hit the like button and also share and subscribe the channel. Thank you.